What's going on, everybody? If you don't know me, it's your little homie Dean. Here to bring you the Cinematics Top 10 review and breakdown of Naked Singularity, starring John Boyega. And that's little buddy coming off of Star Wars. I hated the last trilogy of Star Wars so bad. I think I kind of hated him. But we're going to get right into this. Before I do, let me go ahead and ask everybody, go ahead and hit your like and subscribe button. And if you have any disagreements with what I'm saying, go ahead and leave comments down at the bottom. I love to talk about this stuff. All right, boom. So, Naked Singularity, and I'm not going to give any spoilers out right now. I'm going to give them out a little bit later. So let me just try to get into it. A very, very, very good surprise. I mean, just looking at it and the cover itself, I mean, it doesn't look like it's gonna be much, but it's starring Olivia Cook, which is that girl that I don't know if you know her from a couple of movies, but she was in Ready Player One and a couple of other things. But yeah, she's an okay actor. I can't say that I hate anything that she did. That Bill Skarsgård, he is actually in here as well. He's the one that played in It Chapter 2. Yeah, well, we both is, you know what I mean? But it and the other one, he been in a couple of things. I don't really know much about him. Now, my boy Ed Screen is up in here. Now, he always got some little crazy stuff. He's the bad guy in Deadpool. He was on Midway. Back in the day, he did a bad guy on Transporter and all of that. I always liked Ed Screen. But, you know what I mean? The basis of it is John Boyega is actually a district attorney. And he's, you know what I mean, I guess an oxymoron. He's actually a good district attorney. So he's actually, all about getting his people off and doesn't want his people to go to jail and doesn't like unfair treatment in the system. So that's why he's a fighting district attorney. And, you can tell he's just been run ragged with all the cases and everything that he got going on. And it's just, wearing them thin. So that's the premise of it, but it leads into Olivia Cook, who is actually a girl working at an impound, who is a former client of Boyega's, and she's actually working at the police impound getting cars. Ed Screen comes in and he's trying to get a car out of the impound, and Bill Skarsgård is another attorney that's actually working with Boyega. Then all of these people actually intertwine. Now, it immediately from the get-go, you can actually see that is very well written. And then their acting is, it's great. I mean, there's nothing that I could really say bad about the movie in general. The way that they present it and then the story itself is going to just throw you for such a loop. Nothing is pulled out of the story that, it seems stretched or by the imagination or anything. And it's crazy for him to go, from the beginning to the movie to the end and where they get to, for them to get there is laid out so perfectly in the middle that it's just a great ride, man, for you to go on. I mean, Naked Singularity is just one of the biggest surprises of 2021, if you're asking me. All right, right now I'm about to get into some spoilers because I got to talk about this movie. I just told you I love it, but we're about to get into spoilers. So if you don't want to hear none of this, go ahead and leave and then come back and see me after you see the movie. All right, so boom, it jumps off. Boyega is over here arguing with a judge about a case that he has. And then he's trying to get this guy off. The guy was sick, or he got him off of being sick or something like that. Now the guy comes in full health and everything. Boyega like, man, are you crazy? And then he gets into it with the actual judge, and the judge wants to lock the man back up. Asks Boyega to come over there and see him in her quarters. He goes to see her in her quarters. By the time they come out, Buddy done dipped out of the courtroom, man, and now he done skipped bail. And they think Boyega done had something to do with it, like he told him to do it. So he immediately feels like he's just getting slandered, right here at the beginning. So he's overworked, he's talking to other people and they're just treating him bad, treating him like a district attorney. They don't get no respect until they get you out of jail. But so Olivia Cook actually gets approached by Ed Screen while she's at her job. Remember, she's actually working at the impound. So Ed Screen come in there and then holler at her about trying to get this car out. She's like, no, you can't do that. You got to get this paperwork, that paperwork. He like, all right, boom. So he ends up texting her, hooking up on Tinder or something like that later on. And then now he done boom. So he got her. So now he's asking her about trying to help him out to get into the impound. But he's hesitant. He slick forces her into it. So she actually, when she goes to the impound, she has to go to the impound because the car itself actually got like 30 fucking keys of heroin up in that bad boy. So they trying to go get this dog food out the car, but he needs her to go to the car and get a sample of it. Because they're just gonna wait until the actual auction. When they auction off the car for being impounded, they're gonna actually buy the car then, and then he can go sell the weight, you know what I mean, to whoever he needs to do. So she goes in there to try to get a sample of the dog food. When she's on her way home with the heroin, she got prior charges for some other stuff that she done. She didn't got pulled over. Boom, cops got her. So she goes back and asks for Boyega, is somebody that got her off a long time ago, and says, "Hey man, I need your help." He like, "Man, I can't help you with this." Like, "Look, man, there's all of this in here. We could got I know that they'll let me go if I'm giving away all this. I just got this out of that car." He like, "All right, boom." So he hooks her up with the detectives. Detectives like, "All right, we're gonna get this. When is the auction? Then what day? And then we're gonna arrest everybody after they go ahead and buy the vehicles." Bet. So as Boyega is actually moving around, he actually talks to his other homeboy, who is Skarsgård, and Skarsgård puts into his mind, said, "Man, she's setting you up. Ain't no way she's gonna go give up all of that and give up all the money and everything like that." And show was he right. So Boyega done found out that Olivia Cook is actually done gave the detectives the wrong date. So now since she done gave them the wrong date, they gonna try, like she told them Wednesday, they actually gonna go. The auction is actually Saturday. So she trying to throw them off his plan to get her money gonna disappear. Now while she's doing all that and Ed Screen trying to show her what's going on, Ed had somebody, a mule, to actually bring that car. And then when she got it impounded, now he done had to kill her, and he shows Olivia that he's not playing. So now Olivia's scared. She goes back to Boyega and kind of gives him a little bit more of the story, which he already knows that she's lying. So now Boyega talking to his friend, who's actually Tim Blake Nelson. He's been in a couple of movies and everything, but yeah, Tim Blake Nelson, you don't know him. Just yeah, we'll talk about that later. But so yes, Boyega and Skarsgård basically talks Boyega in like, "Man, come on, we gonna take the money. Since they know where it's at and don't nobody know when it's moving through, we gonna take it." And Boyega has a real deep discussion with Tim Blake Nelson that really like makes it make sense, like why Boyega is like, "Man, fuck this dude, I'm finna go ahead and get this money." And then, you know what I mean, he tries to tell Olivia Cook, you know what I mean, what's going on. Ed Screen can already see this shit is looking like bullshit. So boom, they're gonna go out and go get it. So now it's auction day. On auction day, Ed Screen is in there like everybody over here bidding for the car. He's like, "Man, 40 grand, man, forget all of this." And then all of a sudden now he looked back, man, it's the cartel, the ones who actually sold dope, they up in the auction too. 60 grand. So now they finna outbid Ed Screen. So now he can't even get the car. He runs back into Olivia Cook, tell him, you know what I mean, the fix is on. Tell her that the fix is on. We got to find a way to get the car. She do some paperwork and everything and just basically burn herself to get her and dude out with the car, because she's like, she gonna get her money and just disappear. So now they done actually got the car on the run. Detectives looking for her, who are actually working with the cartel now. And they are running over here. Ed Screen and Olivia Cook are going to go sell it to the Amish to go get like 15 million so they can go ahead and get this all over with. Boyega is hot on the track with Skarsgård, who is actually cutting up in this thing. And it's like really a comedy that you could actually put it as, but it got enough action and enough adventure, man, that it's just really great to see. So they go over there and they try to meet them at the Amish yard or whatever. And then after they do the deal and Olivia and Ed Screen get the money, Boyega and Skarsgård come in there, boom, and mess up all the drugs and all of that and call the cops so the cops can come get them. Then they hurry up and go get to Olivia and them, who Ed Screen already know the fix is on, is beating up on her. And they come in to goddamn get it done. They actually had to kill two people as district attorneys just to be able to get this money and split it. I mean, it's just a wild and crazy ride, man. The acting was so fine. The story was hella tight. The believability is way above par. And I'm talking about the plot is just something you've never seen before. I just got to put, you know what I mean, with this, I already rated it, man. It's a hard 9.0. Go check out Naked Singularity. You disagree with me, you disagree with yourself. I'm telling you. I'll let me.